So in this video, we'll be talking about something related to what I call half-cracked cases. So what a half-cracked means is it looks like this. So why is it called half-cracked is here is correct, here is correct, and these two are not. So if you see something and you see an arrow here, these four cases will be covered in this video. Otherwise, for the bald ones, we'll be covering that in the next video. So these four cases are pretty complicated, so you need some understanding, or you can just recite them if you like. To begin with, how do you recognize this case? We have already talked about it. So we'll move to the next question. Where do you start? So basically, there are two different scenarios. If these two corners they are switched, does not intersect with the correct faces. Do you know what I mean? So this is the correct faces, this is correct face, this is a corner, this is a corner, and they occupy four different faces. You are going to start with here, the closest face to the arrow. This is the arrow, so in this case you start with here. So in the other one, you are going to start with, so for example, this one is also they occupy four faces. You can start with here because this is the arrow. And otherwise, you are going to do is, for example, this one, what you are going to do is you start with the one with lonely corner, because you can see these two intersect each other, right? If you see something like that, you are going to start with this face, because the corner and the correct face are on the same place. So you're going to start with here. And there's also another case, but it's really easy, so I'm just going to leave it to you. And now we're going to talk about how do you start. It's also a little bit complicated. So basically, you start with hedge slimmer. If you find that there is also a correct face on your bottom, like in this one. So similarly, otherwise, you're going to start with, this one. So on this one, you found the correct face on the top of you. So you're going to start with sledgehammer. That is pretty obvious. And next, we're going to talk about how do you turn the cube when you have finished the first one. So the first time when you do either sledgehammer or hedge slimmer, you're going to turn it to the other round, which is Y2, so 180 degrees. And next you will do something. And then you have a thing. So you will the last time you will either turn up or turn down. So how do you distinguish them is, you see this one? If the one is not the non-intersect case, which we have covered just then, you are going to turn all the way down. So the second time is still turned down. So otherwise, you are going to do like this one. This is the intersect case. You are going to turn down 180 degrees, do something, and turn up. So it's a little bit more complicated to predict which formula you will need. So I suggest you just do it because you already know what is the double combination. So you can do that, and as you get faster and faster, it will just emerge as one complete logarithm. Otherwise, there are too many points to remember if you really wanted to predict that. There is not meaningful. So now we're going to talk about all the 8 cases so that to make sure you understand them. So this one, we're going to start with here because it's a non-intersect case, and so we start where the arrow is. And we're going to do H because there's something cracked on the bottom. And we're going to turn to the other side. Besides, we're going to turn up when we turn down when we are done. So this would be, you turn it, and you can already see this is the double combination, so you will do this. just to give you an idea. Next one. So this is the intersect case you start with here, because this is where the corner and the correct face intersect. You're going to start with sledgehammer because there is a correct face on the top. So what you're going to do is sledgehammer, and this is the double combination in here. So next, this one, non-intersection. So you start with here. This is the arrow. And you are going to start with sledgehammer because the correct face is on the top. And you are going to turn all the way there. And this is the... Okay. And the last one. This one. So start with here because this is where they intersect. And you do hedge slimmer. And you turn it. And you can see this is the double combination. SH. So that's how you do these 4 cases. There are a lot of things to remember, but I think what's important is you remember how to predict the first move of the case, and the rest you can leave it to a double combination. If you observe twice, it's still faster than the normal method. So I'll see you in next video. Good luck.